Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Tamsin from the Orchid Craft Room. Now I've been mentioning in my socials over the last few weeks that I've got an upcoming project starting in September and I'm finally ready to tell you all about it. Now this project is so exciting. I am going to be doing a sew along with a lovely quilty friend Rachel of Stitch with Rachel. She's on YouTube and Instagram and we chat daily about our creative pursuits. And when I mentioned to her that I was thinking about making one of the Lori Holt quilts and how would she feel about doing it with me so that we can hold each other accountable, she literally bit my hand off. So we knew we were onto a winner and it was a quilt that both of us really wanted to do. So let me show you the quilt. Well, a picture of the quilt. So this is it here. It's the Hometown quilt by Lori Holt of Riley Blake Designs. Now this was a sew along that Lori ran last year. And what we thought we'd do is we would start this September and try and do a block every month together. So we're going to kind of try and start on the 1st of every month, starting in September, and then have it finished by the end of that month. Now, there are also these really cute little quilt blocks that go in between as the kind of sashing top and bottom of each house. We haven't quite figured out how we're going to attack those yet. We may do them as we go along. We may do them at the end. I think we'll probably see how the first few months go and then decide what we want to do. The guide itself is available on Lori's blog and I will link that in the description box below. It explains what fabrics you need for each block. Now the guide itself is split out in fabrics and within each fabric it shows you what you need to cut. Now I'm going to be doing it slightly differently and I think Rachel will also. We are, instead of cutting out all of the fabric now, we're going to work out what we need for each individual house block, cut that fabric, make that block and then move on to the next one the next month. So rather than picking a fabric and cutting everything that's needed in that quilt in that colour, we're going to do it block by block. The other reason we're going to be doing that is we're not going to be using Lori's fabric that she's used in this. We're going to be using our own fabrics and we're both using completely different, so we should get two completely different looks. Now I am going to be using Lori Holt's fabric, just not the one that she's used in this one, and I will show you in a minute what fabric I've picked out. But I'm roughly going to be following her colours. So where she's done a blue house, I'm going to do a blue house, but using a different fabric line. And what we would really like is for you guys to sew along with us. Perhaps you've looked at it and thought you'd love to do it, but just didn't get the opportunity. And perhaps this is the first time you're seeing it and you love it as much as we do. But we would love you to join in with us. We are going to be chatting about it a lot on Instagram, both on our Instagram accounts, and we're going to use the Lori Holt's hashtag. And I'll also drop that somewhere in the video so that you know what that is and you can find it. So that we can keep up with what each other's doing, and if anyone through YouTube or through Instagram want to sew along with us, which we really hope you will, you can use the same hashtag and then we can all see what each other is doing. Or you might just want to follow along and see what we make and how we get on. Now, the style of quilt is applique, and obviously we've got the piecing for the smaller blocks, but the main house blocks are all applique. And the method that Lori uses is I've not tried before. Used sew-in interfacing that you leave in the project. And this is what Lori uses in her applique project here. So I've bought the same and I'm going to give it a go with this type of fusible or sew-in interfacing. It's a big pack with, I think it's got over 100 10-inch pre-cuts. And it was actually reasonable. I think it was about £30, but you get a lot in there. So that is the first thing for me to get my head around how you do sew-in interfacing applique. And I'm going to do a few testers and see how that goes. Now, Lori also designs in all of her kind of applique quilts these templates. But actually, I purchased these, where is here? I've opened them just to check that they're all in there, and I've never used them before, so I just wanted to see kind of how they felt and how they worked. But they kind of come in a pack like this, and it's clipped shut like this. And this is the header here. So we've got So Simple Shapes by Lori Holt, and this is the Hometown edition. Now I ordered mine from Amazon because in the UK there's not many places that you can buy these from, but you might want to grab them from your local quilt shop or equally have a look on Amazon. But make sure you get the Hometown So Simple Shapes because she has shapes for lots of quilts, so you just need to make sure that you're picking up the right ones for this particular project. And you get a big bag of 63 templates. Now I have actually split mine out into a fold, but the ones I've kept in here are the ones for the very first block. So you get these lovely plastic templates. They're really good quality. The corners are lovely and sharp, so that you're going to get some lovely sharp shapes. And each one is numbered with a letter and a number. And they will be used in several blocks, these kind of shapes. This is obviously a roof shape here. And you use the instructions within the guide to tell you which shapes you need to cut from which fabrics. And as I've split all the templates out into their individual house blocks. So each folder here has got the templates for one house block, and the ones that are used in several I will just keep in, I think I've put them in the front here. Now the other things that are going to be needed are this, to kind of push up along all the edges and into those corners to get a really crisp shape. Now I have made an example. So I've had a go at making a roof shape here. So this is the interfacing. So what you would do is you would draw the template shape onto the interfacing. And I will show you this when I actually start making the blocks. So as you can see here, the pencil line, this is me drawing around one of the templates. So I take the template, I pop it on, I draw around it in a pencil and I roughly cut it out. I then place that interfacing on top of my fabric on the right side here. And so I place my fabric here, I would put the shape that I've drawn on top of the fabric and I sew around it. So once you've done that, you then just use an unpicker or a small pair of scissors, cut a hole in the piece of interfacing and then pull the fabric through. So you in effect have bagged it through or bagged it out. So you've got the interfacing on the back with the hole and you've got your fabric on the front. Now the lovely thing about this type of applique is the fabric doesn't lay completely kind of flat once you applique it together and onto the backing fabric. It will kind of give a slightly raised appearance. And again, it's not something I've done before, but it looks beautiful in the pictures and the videos. So I'm really looking forward to trying this out. Now, once you've done all your pieces, you lay them out onto the prepared backing square that we're going to be using, and then you hand sew them on. Now, I am going to be using Lori Holt fabric, but it's not the same fabric as the Home Town Sew Along quilt is actually made from. So I'm using different Lori Holt fabrics, kind of all mixed in. Now I've started with this gorgeous kind of layer cake. I think it's called a layer cake stacker. So it's 10-inch squares in her range called Autumn. So this is the, here we go, this is the packet that it comes in. So it's Autumn by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. And you get all of these fabrics. And I thought the colours in here really lend themselves to the project. So I'm just going to have a quick flick through and show you the different fabrics. So it kind of is a rainbow, but it's still got a really vintagey vibe, and lots of different colours in the greens and the blues and the browns, which are typically more, well, not necessarily the blue, but greens and browns are traditionally more difficult colours to kind of find different prints in that actually go together. Gorgeous purples and pinks. These pinks are stunning. And yeah, so these are the browns. So these are the ones that I was really drawn to, because I need, you know, I need roofs for my houses. I need doors. There's some plant pots and things that are browns. And I thought they're brown, but they're still, oh, that one's twisted over. They're still super cute. So this is the Autumn collection, and I'm going to mix in fabric from different collections that I've got here as well, all of which are Lori Holt fabrics. And I kind of think if I move these up and out, oh, if I move these up here and then kind of lay them here, you can see what I mean by still kind of matching in. Some of these I've only got sort of scrappy, maybe one fat 1/8 size, others I've got fat quarters. There's another one of that one there. But, you know, the intention is that I can kind of try and mix them in. Now, this one, and this one were the ones that I got from the Festival of Quilts. So I think they look lovely with this collection. There's another blue, and a yellow, and then I've got green, another nice bright green, and then this gorgeous red that I'm going to be using. Now I have ordered my backing fabric, sorry, my background fabric, not my backing fabric. I have no idea what I'm going to use for backing. Probably a pieced back, probably a pieced backing. So I've ordered Lori Holt background fabrics. I've gone with all really low volume. I think they're white or cream, and they've each got a slightly different kind of marking in them. I think some of them have got little tiny green flowers. There's a couple of kind of crisscrosses and that kind of thing. And I've ordered plenty of those. And I think I'm going to mix and match them through the quilt. So rather than having the same background on every block, there'll be different ones scattered through. Obviously, there will be repeats. But when it arrives, I can have a look how it goes together. But it should all go together. I think it's probably kind of this colour. So it's this kind of slightly off-white colour. But yeah, I think it will look really nice. So what do you guys think? Are you going to join in? Or perhaps you just want to follow along on Rachel and I's journey through the hometown quilt? Either way, absolutely fine. So just to recap, we're going to be starting our blocks on the 1st of September, aiming to complete the block by the end of September, ready to start the next one the following month. But there's absolutely no pressure to keep up with that timeline if that doesn't suit you. And you may just want to follow along with our journey, and that's absolutely fine too. So in the description box below, I will add a link to Lori Holt's blog where you can download your guide. I will also put links to both Rachel and my Instagram accounts, and I will also put in there the hashtag that we're going to be using when we're posting any pictures so that you can follow along there and see what we're getting up to. And I'd also love it if you could subscribe to my channel here. That way you won't miss any future videos and updates on this sew along. So all that's left for me to do is to say goodbye and take care, quilty friends. Until next time, bye.